part two. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what word you mean by censoring, but maybe when you're going back, you can figure it out. Evaluating and censoring. I mean, like they evaluate and they approve. So maybe you're thinking something about like approve or endorse or something. Okay, another value that has a massive impact on vaccination is freedom. Again, I feel like maybe a new paragraph there. In countries like the United States, people extremely value freedom, that each individual has the liberty, freedom of actions and thoughts. I know, and it makes me crazy. Let's clean that up a little bit, though. In countries like the United States, people value freedom. We wouldn't use extremely like that. People could be extremely concerned about their freedom. But usually we would just say people value freedom a great deal, or maybe people value freedom perhaps too much, something like that. And then I think you need a new sentence to talk about each individual has the liberty, freedom of, has liberty. You don't need the freedom of actions and thoughts. It's a whole different paper, a philosophy paper about what that actually means, but yeah. Many people decide not to receive vaccines, and no one has the right to force them to do what they don't want. And this is partly similar to people who do not like wearing masks. You need a who there during the pandemic. Thus, values are elements that contribute to people's decision to support vaccination or reject it. Okay, your English is very good, and there's just these few little places that I can help by giving you some tips. I would say though that it's not true that no one has the right to force them, but it's true that in the United States, often you have to have a reason that you tell someone. So kids have to have vaccines to go to public schools, but usually if you say this is our religion or this is my belief, then usually you can get an exception. So I would say, yeah, Americans, because they care so much about individual freedom, I would say too much lately. Anyway, okay. On the other hand, power is also an indispensable factor that can decide which side of a controversy is more approved. Let's see. On the other hand, power is a factor. Period. That'd be much better. You kind of just got tangled up in words there. On the other hand, although I wouldn't use on the other hand there as a transition, because on the other hand means you're only talking about two options because we only have two hands. So you can only use that when you're talking about two things, and you're actually talking about three, right? Individuals health, freedom. You're talking about a bunch of things. So you could use a transition like additionally, something like that. They have strong arguments, from scientists as well as experts. They have scientific evidence to decide to believe in the effectiveness of vaccines based on research and evidence. I feel like you repeated yourself. From scientists as well as experts. They have you mean the scientists and experts? Let's see. Scientists and experts have scientific evidence. I wouldn't say to decide. They have evidence to show the effectiveness of vaccines, right? I think that's what you're trying to get out of all that, but your words got kind of tangled up. They have strong arguments for their stance, such as the mechanisms of vaccination or the clinical effects on humans' bodies. Scientists are also people who can partly direct other people's consideration about vaccines based on their credibility. Yes. In addition, money is also new paragraph, I would say. In addition, money is also greatly powerful in determining the winner in a controversy. I wouldn't say a winner. I would say money is powerful money can affect how people view a controversy. I think that would be a fair thing to say. But it's not powerful in determining the winner exactly. Because I don't think this is a winners and losers situation. I mean, if you don't get vaccinated, you are a loser, but you know what I mean. Companies can invest in research and they can impact subjectively on the results of research that may be beneficial for them. Moreover, people can use money as a tool to direct the media, like social media or newspapers, to talk about the problem from their side. People can use money as a tool to direct the media. I think that needs 2 sentences too. People can use money as a tool to direct the media, period. For example, if you want to talk about those examples, I'm not sure you need to, but you could. For example, social media posts and newspapers may talk about the problem from their side, or advertising, as well. For example, pharmaceutical companies which produce vaccines may encourage people to get vaccines through means of communication, which helps them to increase their revenue. With the right of freedom of speech or publication of any viewpoint on websites, it's crazy, but it really is kind of that way. Articles that are not authorized can affect people's thoughts about vaccination. Yes. Controversy in vaccination is partly impacted by political issues. This feels like a new paragraph too. People may not believe in the quality of a vaccine due to its origin. For instance, citizens of a country may not use the vaccine that comes from another country that is having conflicts with their own country. Yeah, like China, or maybe. In addition, governments also have the power to pose regulations, to impose, that's what you need there, a little IM before post, to impose regulations that require people to follow in vaccination. We wouldn't say it that way. We would say that require people to be vaccinated. Vaccination controversy is influenced by many people who can make other people believe in one side of the problem and reject the opposite side. Vaccination is a controversial topic with many people. This controversy comes from many elements such as the efficiency of vaccines, belief in science, or previous experience. But you didn't talk about previous experience. Sometimes vaccination is criticized by religious beliefs. It's not criticized by beliefs, but sometimes vaccination is criticized by religious leaders, because beliefs can't criticize anything. Some clergy believe that vaccines go against their religion. Basically, people from each side may have different benefits. Benefits? I think maybe you just mean different beliefs. With the current situation of this controversy, many people agree that vaccination is good because it is effective in stopping the spread of diseases. With the status quo, when vaccines are believed to be used, companies producing vaccines can increase their profit by selling their products. With the belief that vaccination can help to spread the diseases, world leaders also believe that vaccines can help what? With the belief that vaccines can help spread the diseases? I don't think that's what you mean. Therefore, people's lives come back to normal and the economy will develop. On the other hand, many people do not accept to receive vaccinations as well as raise voices against vaccination for many reasons. Here again, you're just getting into too many words. When you revise, it doesn't have to be a certain page length, so definitely go ahead and cut out anything you think you might not need. They may be worried about having any effect on their health in the future. Vaccinations works against their belief, religion. From a research by, I think we would just say from research by this guy and his colleagues, they have, or in research, something like that, they have found that social factors as well as pro-social concerns have a tremendous impact on how people react to vaccination. So I was feeling like we were in a conclusion, but then you're introducing a new idea, which is that the social environment, right? So I think some of this stuff is just repeating in this paragraph, but you have introduced a couple new ideas. So you should take out things that repeat and add what's new. One of the new things is being influenced by people around you. On the other hand, many people are more motivated to get vaccination when their environment is denser. Oh my God, like in New York. Oh. A fact that different values have different impacts The fact is what you're saying. The fact that different values have different impacts on the way people think about vaccination, and these values can sometimes have conflicts in some ways. Feels like some extra words here again. For example, health and freedom may have some conflicts in this topic, vaccination. For example, health and freedom may be in conflict, I think is what we would usually say. They won't have conflicts. I think only people can have conflicts. If people value, and using the vaccination word at the very end of that, like, this is weird, but I'm like, it seems like something you would do in French, but not something you would do in English. What can I tell you? That's my only other language I kind of know. Thus, the controversy of vaccination is affected by many elements and also different impacts on people's lives. This is definitely the weakest part of your paper, is this paragraph. So when you're revising, let's definitely focus on that. Vaccination is a controversy, basically injecting, kind of restating. Also consider in your conclusion asking some questions about the future. Often in a scientific paper, that section is called implications, or like questions for future study, something like that. Yeah, hopefully that is helpful stuff for you.